Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. In today's video, we're doing a full beginner's guide. The game is almost a year old and my beginner's guide is completely outdated. So for those new players, this should cover all of the basics. It may be a long video and I may miss a couple things, but hopefully we get most of it in not too long of a time. If you are an experienced player and you have any other tips, throw them in the comments below and help out people down there. So let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is re-rolling. Basically, you can re-roll on a different server and you can play as many accounts, or as many servers on the one account. So you have your main account. If you go to settings and select server, and you go to all servers, it's going to show you all the servers available. Now, normally in recommended, it's just going to show you the most recent or any servers that you have an account on. Now, if you swap between servers, each server is like a separate account and that information is saved. You can't transfer the save file from one server to another. It's just you play on the server you're on. Now, if you want to try and be as competitive as possible, you want to go on the newest server, which on the left here, you'll scroll down all the way, but by default, it's going to put you on the newest server. If you want to just get more extra rewards when you get into it and you don't care about competing, you can go to one of the earlier servers and people will be more progressed there, but you will get more rewards from things like over here at the Wall of Legends, which we'll talk about more later. You basically just get rewards for how far someone has progressed on that server. So people on early servers have progressed way further. But for me personally, I like always jumping on the newer server, so you can select it, go ahead and do that. I have a reroll guide. You can go and check that out as well if you want more in-depth into that. So that's the rerolling. I definitely think it's worth it for a good start, but it's not 100% necessary because you do get a lot of summons free to play in this game. Next up, campaign. So campaign is going to be your main push. You're going to just keep going through it. In your first day or two, you'll probably be able to get up to chapter 4, 3 or 4, maybe 5, depending on what heroes you pull. And then you're going to start hitting brick walls every day of basically just stages that you cannot clear. This is completely normal. It's the name of the game. Try not to get impatient is the key there. There's a lot of things you can do to mix up your teams and try. So if you are getting stuck, try mixing up just the positioning of your team. It can really change things. I do have videos about good beginner teams and stuff like that. There are a lot of good free-to-play units that are only at this legendary tier, so that when you summon them, they're at blue. Savius is a great one for early game. Muriel is another great damage dealer for early game. Hogan over here can be a decent tank, and then you also have Arden, who, especially after 81, he starts entangling 2 enemies and becomes a really good hero. So campaign, just get used to it. You're gonna get stuck. Now, on this screen, there's certain things you're going to want to do every day. You're going to want to do your fast rewards. You get one free one per day. Do that at least. But early on, if you're really trying to push, wait till the end of the day when you're as far progressed as you can. Because when you use this, it's going to give you rewards based on the current stage you're at in the campaign. So the further you are, the better the rewards will be. Friends, go ahead, make a bunch of friends. You can just go the easiest way. You can go into the chat, the global chat, and just do what this person does, add me, and then you can click on anyone and you can hit the add friend, and that's how you get friends. But yeah, friends are really nice to have because then you can get extra summons from the friendship points. So you want to go ahead and send and receive all those friendship points every day. Your mail here, just if there's any goodies to collect or they give you anything, you get them there. There we go. We had an update, so we got some diamonds, which is really nice. Your bags where everything's stored. If you get any summons, you're going to be able to get them from there with those stones. And then you've got your quests. Do your daily quests. They're fairly simple, not too hard. You can just read through them and you can get the gist of it. So that's pretty much everything over here. The other thing you want to do is every day, this merchant gives you a free one. Every week you get a free one here, and every month you get a free one here. So just collect that every day. 2 stones, 20 diamonds, adds up over time. That is pretty much on this home screen. That's all you got to worry about. Then we're going to go to the Dark Forest. Now, there's a few things here. Peaks of Time, they unlock a little bit into the game. And as you get to different stages, you're going to unlock different ones. So as you can see here, this one, I've got to complete stage 17.4 and complete the previous one to 60% to unlock it. And these are going to give you nice little rewards. We'll talk about these artifacts in a bit, and you're going to get nice rewards. So they're a one-time thing. You can do them once, get all the rewards, and it's really, really nice. So That's the peaks. Next we have Voyage. Voyage is an event system, so it's very similar to the Peaks of Time, but these only come around as events. As you can see, this one ends in 7 days. So when these are on, definitely do them. I put out guides for everyone when they come out, so you can check those out as they come, but there's no going back to old ones. It's just during that event period, you can do it. You get some really nice goodies. Always have summons or select heroes and stuff like that. So really nice on those. Next up, you have King's Tower, which is very similar to campaign. You're just going to push this alongside campaign. Now I can't remember what chapter exactly, I think it's at chapter 16, you will unlock faction towers, which every day goes to a different faction, and in these faction towers you can only use that specific faction on your team. And like I said, it rotates every day. You can only do a maximum of 10 floors per day. On Friday you can do Lightbearer and Mauler. On Saturday you can do Wilder and Graveborn, and on Sunday you can unlock all 4, and then the other days you can only do one of them. So that's the tower. Just push it as you go. And then you have Arena. So for Arena, my advice for new players who aren't too stressed is every day you get a certain amount of free battles depending on your VIP and stuff like that. So you can just go here. The easiest way to do it is fight the easiest enemy possible, battle, and at VIP 6 you will get this skip button, which you can get VIP free to play. So eventually you will get to VIP 6 as free to play. Otherwise you just have to watch the battle out. Do that for all of your battles. You get easy points and it's not too much stress. If you want to try and battle harder enemies, go ahead. That's just what I do every day to get it through quickly. Legends Challenger Tournament, that's a 3 where you battle 3 teams of each enemy, and whoever wins 2 or more wins the battle, and then you get these points over time. Now that unlocks at around chapter 12, don't quote me, but that unlocks later on. Once you get it, you can just do those daily as well. You get a few free attacks and you're good to go. Next up we have the bounty board, which if you have available units, you do unlock the autofill eventually, but if you don't have it, you just have to go ahead and select the units, and you just got to fill whatever the requirements are. So on this one you can see I need 2 Wilders and a Mauler, and 2 of those heroes have to be at legendary. I don't have the requirements, so I got to wait till I finish some of these other dispatch missions before I can get them, but those are good. Get nice rewards, do them, pretty easy. Now we have the Arcane Labyrinth. Now this resets every 2 days. It's really nice to do early game. Really important early game to get you your main hero basically. So what we're going to do here is, if you can, so they have crates here, they're going to have heroes. Early game, if you need to go to these crates to get a support hero to help you get through it, you might need a healer or something like that, you can go to these crates. But if you do not need it, then I advise just going whatever path gives you the most enemies. So basically the difference between the red and the brown flags is the red have harder enemies, but they're going to give you a better relic. Relics are just items that give you special effects for that labyrinth run only, and the red one's going to give you better relics. However, in this stage here, if I didn't need to get a support hero from one of these wagons, I would just go straight left, because if we look here on the red one, that's going to give us 110 coins. And on this one, on the brown one, it's also giving us 110 coins. So the way to get the most points is to battle the most enemies. So in this one, I'd go up this way here, through here, and then all the way up, down diagonally there, and then up, because it's going to give me the most enemy battles and the most overall points. However, like I said, if you do need to go into a crate to get a hero, go into the crate. Now we're going to quickly talk about the Labyrinth store, because this has changed a lot in recent times. We do have a Celestial hero in here in the Wukong, and we have the Dimensional hero in here in the Arthur. Now Arthur, you're going to have to buy that 4 times before you can actually get him. Early game, I wouldn't worry about him. Early game also, I probably wouldn't worry about Wukong, depending on how you do. So when you build your initial team for this game, you're going to basically want a main carry damage dealer, and that hero you are going to level up and above all your other teammates. So basically your carry hero is going to be something that probably wants to do some AoE damage and have some self-sustain, and that way, even if they're a damage dealer, you can put them in the front row, because the idea is you want to ascend them above your other heroes and level them up faster. So for instance, your carry hero might be at like level 120 when your other heroes are at like level 80 or something like that. So the main hero that most people will use in free-to-play is going to be Chimera, and she's the one I would recommend buying from the Labyrinth store. Just because she's got a nice AoE, it also heals her. She's just all around fantastic, and she's the one I'd target because you really want to get as many copies of her as you can. That's just my general suggestion. There's a lot of different ways to go about this, but that's like the overall general one. Get more in depth, do more research. If you want to do something else, you can get lucky and pull copies of another carry hero, and then you don't have to go for the Chimera. But in general, I like Chimera as the early game carry hero. Moving on from that, we've got go ahead and go over here to the Ranhorn. I've never read what that says, but it's the Ranhorn. Okay, so in the Ranhorn you have guilds. Join a guild, fairly simple. You can just search random guilds, some that don't have any requirements. You can get in, easy, done. You have guild hunts. You have Riz here, who unlocks every day. Quick battle unlocks at VIP 6 as well, which once again you will get free to play eventually. Or you can go ahead and challenge him twice. When you're not VIP 6, you only get 2 challenges. Then you have Siren. Basically, this is why you're really going to want to do all your dailies, because as you do dailies, you contribute points towards your guild. Once you get enough points, you'll be able to unlock Siren. So depending on how active your guild is how often you will unlock this Siren battle. And then we also have the Twisted Realm, which is a fairly new feature. And that is just basically every 2 days, kind of like the Labyrinth, it will reset with a different boss that you have to battle. And then when you complete it, I haven't done one so you can't see the rewards, but you're going to get some rewards that you'll use later on in the game. So that is nice, but that does not unlock until about chapter 12, so don't stress about that too much earlier. Next up we have the library, we have unions. Now these are fantastic, so if you go ahead and fill these out with heroes, as you can see I've been slack, depending on the rarity of the heroes that you actually put into this, as you can see, if you have all the 3 heroes, they get those stats. If you have them at Elite Plus or higher, they get those stats. And then if they're at Legendary Plus or higher, they get these stats. So all of my heroes are above that. You can use Friends heroes in these and everything. And as you can see, I haven't unlocked all these bonuses, so I get all of those. Now, a common question in this is, how do I get these bonuses in battle? Do I have to use those 2 heroes in battle? No, you don't. Those 2 heroes, or however many heroes there are in this union, you get the effect of these bonuses just if you have them in here. Like, that's it. Put them in there. No matter what content you go into, they just have those stats. So the best way that I have to give an example of this is over here, Brutus and Kasos, my man, you have Leech Life Leech plus 15. So if I go over here and just show you guys, and I go to heroes and I go to him, and we go to the stats, you can see he's got 15 life leech. If I go ahead and remove one of them out of, wrong place. If I go ahead and move one of them out of this union, which I'll go ahead and, okay, we'll put him down to an elite version. So now he's lost that life leech bonus, and if we go over here to him and check him out, and we go to stats, you'll see he has 0 life leech. So they don't have to be in the same team to get the benefit. You just put them in there, those heroes get the benefit everywhere. It's really nice. So that is that one. We also do have the Elder Tree, which unlocks at about level chapter 12. So if you want to know more information about that, check a video for it. It's basically just an experience tree. You get experience, dump it into it, and unlock abilities. But I don't want to go into that because that's really not beginner stuff. Next up is the Resonating Crystal, which you'll unlock, and basically when you level up your team, you never want to level more than 5 heroes. Only level 5 heroes. The reason for that being that once you get 5 heroes, you in this crystal, your top 5 leveled heroes go into here, and anyone you put down here in this crystal, any hero, doesn't matter their rarity, they will go to the same level of these guys, with one exception. Which I can't demonstrate at the moment because 160 is here, but the exception to that rule is if we go to these heroes and we go to here, all these legendary tier heroes, all these guys, never use these guys can't do anything, but these legendary tier, they cap out at level 160. So even if everyone in your Resonating Crystal is at level 200, these guys will still cap out at level 160. So that is why that is the case. But if we go back here to the Resonating Crystal, anyone else that you put in there will instantly become the same level as the rest of these guys. Now I've got an Ascension guide out there if you want to look at Ascension, but basically even though a hero might not be ascended enough to get to that level, they can still bypass Ascension and get to that level. So at Elite Plus, you can't actually level to 160. However, with the Crystal, you can get Elite Plus heroes or just Elite heroes up to 160. So the main takeaway from this thing is never level more than 5 heroes. You're wasting experience. If you do mess up and you need to reset someone, you can go here, you click on them, you reset. It costs you 20 diamonds, but you get all your gold, all your experience, all your gear, everything back. The only thing it doesn't revert is the Ascensions. So Ascensions are final, so think carefully before you ascend a hero. Next up, we have the Wall of Legends, which I talked about earlier. Just if someone gets to a certain stage in the game, this rewards thing will come up and you'll be able to get it. So as soon as someone on my server clears chapter 30, I'll get 50 diamonds and I'll just hit collect. That's simple. Nothing else to it. We spoke about the rickety card. The other thing you can do in the rickety card is go over here. When you summon the green heroes, which are just food, you never use them, they're absolute trash. You can click this button, which means when you summon them, it will automatically throw them away. And then basically from there, you can go to the barracks, and when you throw them away, it gives you these points. And what you're going to want to buy with those points is these purple stones. Don't buy anything else, save them for the purple stones. Okay, the rickety cart, the last thing there is going to be revert heroes. This is if you mess up and you make 2 legendary plus copies of a hero. It's a bit more in depth, don't stress about it. If you need to use it, search it, I've got a video on it, but basically you should never have to use this unless you mess up in the game. Definitely check out the Ascension guide, because Temple of Ascensions, where you're going to ascend, I got a video, it goes through what you need for each Ascension level, all that sort of stuff. So it's a bit more in depth, but you need copies of heroes and then you need fodder copies, but I don't want to go too in depth into that in this video. Check out the Ascension video, it goes in depth. Then we also have the store. So I talked about the Labyrinth and the Barracks stores. Here in the general store, basically you want to buy the dust for gold. Every time it's up, you want to buy that. I buy that every day. The other thing you want to buy is sometimes you get 5 of the purple stones up here at a discounted price for like 90 diamonds. I buy those as well. I think they're good value. Down here, you start unlocking these stones later on in the game, but they're much later. Don't stress too much about them at the moment. The next thing we have is the guild store. Now, at the guild store, you can always see, if you click on this guy, it changes the messages, but you can see at completing what stage he starts to give better gear. Once you start seeing mythic gear in here, basically never buy anything from the guild store until you see mythic gear, which is this red gear. Then you start buying that. Buy nothing else from the guild shop until then, because what you're going to want to end up doing is getting this mythic gear and upgrading it on your heroes. So mythic gear, stick to that, don't buy anything before that. You'll go a long time without buying anything from the guild store. There is a weekly quest to buy something from the guild store, but you can complete all your weeklies without doing that one. I'd recommend hold on to the points. Then the last one is the Challenger store, which comes much later on once you unlock the Challenger Arena. But once you start getting those points, my suggestion is to go for either Aziz or Thalia. Thalia is a great choice. Aziz is a bit more niche and late game, but they're both good options. Yes, they cost more, but they're Celestials and Hypergenes, which means they're much harder to summon. All these other guys you can summon as you go. And speaking of summoning, we're going to go to the Noble Tavern here. So the Noble Tavern, you have 4 different types of summons you can do. You do unlock the Stargazer room much later on in the game. That is a very end game feature. Don't stress about it too much until you're at very end game. I'm not even going to go into it too much. So we have different types of summons. You have diamonds, which come out of this one. You also have the normal scrolls. So normal scrolls and diamonds are the same. You've got faction scrolls, which whatever faction is on the day, you can also change the faction for 300 diamonds. You're going to summon that faction. And then you have friendship summons, which are the weak summons, not too great. So with diamonds, faction scrolls, and normal scrolls, those have like a pity system. So if you go 2 10 pools of say normal scrolls without a purple hero, the next one will guarantee to the next 10 pull will guarantee to have a purple hero. So you basically only want to do 10 pulls with these, in my opinion, especially diamonds, because diamonds it's more expensive. I think it's more expensive to do a single pull 10 times than it is to do a 10 pull. So just stick to 10 pulls on these summons. Like I said, every 2 that you don't get a purple hero, you get a guaranteed the next one. However, that is it's a bit complicated, but you can't do 2 normal scroll 10 pulls and not get an elite hero and then get one from a faction scrolls. It's same type. I have a video that goes more into depth. Just look up summon guide for AFK Arena. That'll explain it. It's a bit more in depth than that, but you do get a pity system, which is nice. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the wish list. Now, this wish list is fantastic. It's the best thing I've seen in any of these games. Absolutely fantastic. As long as you have 5 heroes in this wish list, when you summon a hero of that faction, it is guaranteed to be one of these 5 heroes. So fill out all of these wish lists with heroes that you think, like the best heroes that you ideally want, and then go from there. Basically, if you have a hero missing from the wish list like this, if I summon a Lightbearer hero, there is a chance that it's going to be just any random Lightbearer hero. However, if I have it completely filled out, every time I summon a Lightbearer hero, it is guaranteed to be one of these guys. Now, there is exceptions. As you do more summons, you will get these tickets, which is a guaranteed elite hero for the select faction. They do not obey the wish list, and also the stones that you get in the bag, the purple stones, they do not obey the wish list either. But basically, fill out your wish list. It's really important. When you do faction scrolls, which are over here, you basically have a guaranteed 1 in 5 chance to get the hero that you want from that faction, which is really, really nice. Now, the other thing is we do have Celestial and Hygiene heroes, which are these guys here, which are like, I guess, the light dark for those coming from other games. They are the more rare heroes, really hard to get, really, really strong, and you do just have a chance when you do not diamonds or normal scrolls to get them. However, when you do faction scrolls, you are only going to get that faction, so there's no chance of getting Celestials or Hypergeans from that. But that's pretty much the gist of summoning. Do 10 pulls, fill out the wish list, and you're good to go.